Hi. In the previous clips, we have discussed the challenges of educational institutions. The solutions to them need effort and investment. Before examining the solution in detail, let's see how it makes sense financially. Capital investments like infrastructure, furniture, etc., are done willingly as the assets are visible. Operational costs like salary, maintenance are accepted. But there is no clarity with respect to the establishing system or best practices. Quality comes from, in a nutshell, infrastructure, facilities, team, how challenges and systems are addressed. Best results are obtained if you club infrastructure and best team with a good system and best practices to give the best results. But even with the same infra and best team, there will be utter chaos if there are no systems or best practices. The best team, the availability, and their permanency will also be an issue due to the location dynamics clubbed with prohibitively high recurring cost. The solution is to integrate the existing team with a long-lasting systems and best practices. This would definitely give the desired results and also enable your own best team in the long run. How much does this contribute or the investment on this is worth it or not? Let's make an attempt to give value to it. You can put a value or quantify the loss if there is a damage to books or grocery or items or money is lost or a labor has not finished his work, and you can value the benefits if there is a something which is used judiciously. But how can you value the loss if student misses a period? A section wastes a period due to teachers' non-availability, impromptu planning of an event in the school which consumes a day, or the functional issues crop up where the valuable time of the trustees is used to resolve it. So we are not able to put values since the loss is not immediately visible and we cannot quantify it. Therefore, we are making an effort to put a value to it. I have taken an example in this case of a school with around 800 students. Fees for juniors is 35,000, fees for seniors is 70,000, and approximately 220 days of working days and or 1800 periods in a year. So extrapolating this, the cost per student per day would be around 150 rupees or per period would be 20 rupees in junior classes. I have put the additional 100% loss due to cumulative effect because any period which is lost, you require 2 to 3 periods to make it up to cover that loss. Similarly, cost per section of say 40 would be almost 24,000 if we just a day. And even if extrapolated to the school, then per day it will be staggeringly 3,60,000 rupees per day would be the loss of any unplanned things. So imagine the cost of frequent disruptions due to absence of system and best practices is huge. Does it mean that do we avoid it completely? No, it is not possible. But however, if we are able to take some measures to reduce it to say 50% or 70%, then the 30% would be manageable and will not impact the quality of the educational institution. Now coming on to the long-term effect. Suppose if the institution has aimed the results in 10th or 12th board as shown on the V file, that there will be two of 100% and then accordingly this thing. But however, due to the lack of systematic best practices, in spite of all efforts, the result achieved would be generally be this much. This is where 100% there is none, but you have some in above 90%, and accordingly what is shown. So what will be the loss if you can quantify it? The loss of results will almost be 10% of your revenue. Similarly, there is a reputational cost, and then it adversely affects the future admissions and fee revisions. Then there will be a few withdrawals, and there will be lots of efforts by the management in order to rectify these things. And also, you'll have to spend more on campaigning so that you don't reduce admissions. The cumulative loss will be almost 30% of the revenue. So it will be approximately 3 crore for a 10 crore revenue. So if system and best practices are added, instead of loss, the benefits would accrue and total difference would may increase rather than this 30% minus, we can add another 10% and would be the 40% of the revenue. So it means that what is evident is that the investment in the system or the best practices would give you many fold returns both in the long run as well as in the short run. So, what does this customized system or best practices involve? It involves like constructing a new building. Initial establishments has got lots of work, efforts, and investment. Maintenance cost is less, and it can be done either by the person who is established or by the own integral team of the institution. And this I have repeated in previous clipping also is that it involves assessing the existing factors, carry out reality checks, students and teachers understand the challenges and develop a scientific method of systems and best practices to deal with the challenges, and also train the local team and give adequate support to achieve the desired results. So this involves number of steps and processes which we'll be discussing in detail in the subsequent clips. Thank you very much.